I've been gone for a while, but I am back, baby. Now, the reason why I've been gone and what we're going to be talking about today is Captain Robert Smalls, the greatest Civil War hero. Let me go ahead and show you this real quick. All right. Now, what I've been doing for a year and a half is creating a foundation, a new industry for us all. Money moves, money moves, money moves. Let's get this cake, y'all. Daddy, are we rich? Youngin', we're gonna buy our freedom. And then we'll be together. And that's what's gonna make us rich. Don't you boys get any ideas? I can see the evil in your eyes and in your coarse hair. That's Burris. Master gets sick, he gets sick. Never tell him anything. I want to be held and petted by my superiors. I can get my freedom and some butter biscuits, keeping y'all uppities in line, and by turning y'all in. The name is Uncle Burris, and my mouth will never be dry. What is he wearing? Man, I don't know. My master gave me this. He says I look bona fide, and he says I can blend right into the forest. Burris, that outfit was made to catch you. I ain't ever running. Lil youngin', learn to love to learn. Learn those docks, learn those boats. Okay, Robert, do you know I have met slaves who told me nothing's going to change? But youngin', I went from the fields to a carriage driver. Smalls, I think there's going to be slave-minded folk around us forever. Wow. Robert listened to that wise black man, and when he got to Charleston, he watched and studied how those crews of the ships worked. Tie him up. Yes, sir. I ain't all y'all. We all gonna die. He's got a bruise. His face is swelling. You gotta tell Candy to stop hitting white people. I'm gonna tell Master. Tie them both up. Yes, sir. It's a powerful book, y'all. Very powerful book. If you like what you've seen so far, what I need you to do is like, subscribe, as well as follow and share. Look, I need 1,000 of you heroes to buy copies of this book by the end of this month. And the reason being is because we need to be able to bolster this new industry, this new franchise, this new enterprise. People need to know exactly how incredibly interested you are in Captain Smalls. All right, we're talking about we can get movies out about this. We can get animated movies out about this, 2D and 3D. Toys out about this. We can get video games out about this. We can get puzzles going about this. We can get t-shirts, mugs, hats. So I need you in this game with me. I need you in this build with me. And I'm going to take all 1,000 of your names and I'm going to put that in the acknowledgments of the second installment of the book. And that means you're going to be in the second installment of The Greatest Civil War Hero as well as The Titan. Go to Etsy right now and make this purchase. All right, 1,000 of y'all heroes. Let's build this industry. Let's build this enterprise. Let's build this franchise together. Now, there is 47 million of us. So even if half of us go ahead and make this move to build a new industry, that's 23 and a half million. Boom, right there. And we only just need 1,000 purchases of this book to make this thing strong, okay? So 1,000 out of 23 million. You all are heroes. You can do this by the end of this month. And even at the beginning of next month, you can do this. Bam! We can be strong together. The link is in the description box. The info's in the description box. And this helps us build a whole new industry for us all. We can get this cake, people, together. We work together, we can get this cake. This is going to be amazing. Look, there's a lot of things going on, which is great and fantastic. We got Brad Snyder out here trying to enshrine Captain Smalls into history in any way possible. And he's from Illinois, right in my area. And we know that you all in South Carolina are working on the same thing. Now, it took me 1.5 years to work on this project, but not to make this one book. What I did was I took 1.5 years and I drew 3 books worth of artwork, all right? Written and everything. So what we're doing right now is we are coloring the last 2 books. So all that line work and everything else is done. So these books are gonna come out fast. And I want you to be on this ride with me. So those people who get in there, and we're talking about just spending $30. The Titan is $27.98. The Greatest Civil War Hero, and I'm talking about Captain Smalls, the Greatest Civil War Hero, is $33.98. Both signed copies over at Etsy. It's the only place where you can get the signed copies from me. It's over at Etsy. So again, one is $27.98 and the other one is $33.98. This is a really small investment to get your name in lights and to build a whole new industry. We want to get these books in all the schools, all the libraries, as well as in all the homes. There's a lot of important information in this book, and let me tell you, the government, the powers that be will say, and I'm not even going to blame the military bases, but they have given directives to keep books that have slavery and black information in it out of the military bases. They don't want diversity when it comes to how officers are trained, how soldiers are trained. They want us to be marginalized. So we want to fight this fight. And the way to fight this fight is through what they hate the most is black people being able to read, write, and have books of their own. They want to treat us like how we were before, or Native Americans. We'll just teach some white stuff. And then when we underperform because we're not interested in what happened in ancient Greece, what happened in ancient Rome, we're not interested in that. We're interested in our story. Look, the support has been powerful. It's been fly. A lot of people have been coming over and wishing me well. My avatar is of Captain Smalls, but look, I look fantastic anyway. But that's not the point. The point is that wonderful people come over and they just say, I could only buy one. You're selling out. Hey, what can I say? People love the book. And we did up the amount on Etsy for more people to buy all 1,000 copies. So get in there before they're all gone. All right? Meanwhile, this woman came back, and I love it. These sisters are awesome. She came back and she said, I will give it to the Gullah Geechee village that is across the highway from me. Keep publishing. We need millions of copies. See, that's what I'm talking about. That is hella support. I love it. And I want you all to do the same thing. Be hella supportive. And one more thing. I don't personally know this woman, but honestly right now, I really feel like I do. She's already planning to take a trip on over there because she's in the area. And yes, it is mentioned in the book, yes it is, that Robert Smalls was Gullah Geechee. Let me go ahead and just show you that. Okay. Yeah, right on this page right here. Now, he says, his great granddaddy in Captain Robert Smalls, the greatest Civil War hero, he says, Robert and a lot of black folk in South Carolina were Gullah Geechee, and they had met a lot of mean white people. So right there, I make it part of the story. So it's part of the adventure. Let me start really right off here with this. It was 3 months before the Montgomery Brawl. And the last video that I was working with you guys on was the fact that we could not split the black community up and still think that we're going to win against white supremacy. So I literally put together a video that showed you with a military simulator what happens if you get rid of the gay people, the interracials, and you just leave just black people. All right, so you get rid of the interracial black people, you get rid of the gay black people, LGBTQ, and then you just have black people, which is about 20 black people versus 100 white supremacy troops. And I showed you exactly how that will go down. We would lose. The same thing when it came to doubling the amount of troops. Okay, we have 40 troops versus 100 white supremacy troops. We lose. And the interesting part was my wife played the white supremacy troops. I played the orange black supremacy troops. And now it ended with 100 white supremacy troops versus 100 black supremacy troops. And boom, we actually pulled it out. The first two battles, total loss, got devastated. Now, 3 months later, the Montgomery Brawl happens. Now, I'm glad that those black people in Montgomery listened to my video, because this could have went an entirely different way. And we talking about a brother running down the ramp to save this brother. I'd like to call him first on the scene. That took some courage, man. Remember that brother running down that ramp? He got them white folks up off him. And the same thing, brother jumped off a boat, swam over there, gave that Latin dude the rock bottom, saved his brother. And then other black people came off that boat and elsewhere. You know, and I'm talking about men and women came off that boat. And what I love is that nobody was checking each other's underwear to see what and who they were in relationships with. They knew that it was time for battle. And that's what I was trying to convey to all of y'all. Sometimes our, blackity black folk just gets it all tore up. They want this perfect black community. Nobody else can be a part of it. And that is going to put us in a situation where we're going to take an L, a loss. And could you imagine how demoralizing that day would have been if we had taken a loss versus a victory, that epic victory? So look, I've been going 1.5 years for a reason. I am building, and with your help, a new industry, a new enterprise, a new franchise. All right? Now, you're like, what are you talking about? Well, look at it this way. Whether it's Roots or Motown or Glory or The Color Purple, those are all enterprises, franchises, and industries. Okay? We know what came out of Roots. We're talking about, LeVar Burton. We're talking about John Amos. I'm talking about the late, great John Amos. We're talking about Ben Vereen. We're talking about so many people. With Glory, we have Morgan Freeman. We got the late, great Andre Braugher. We got Denzel Washington. All in that movie. And they were able to make some considerable money and be etched into history. And then, even though I'm not in love with The Color Purple, I got the same problems with The Color Purple as you do. All right? But, and salute to you brothers, stand firm. But, they were able to create The Color Purple, all right? And, we got people who was in it, like Whoopi Goldberg, as well as Danny Glover, and they were able to flip that. They were able to flip it to a stage play, then they were able to flip it into a musical, and then back into a movie musical, all right? So, that is a franchise, an industry, and what I have been able to do is taking that 1.5 years out was create a new franchise for all of us. And we're talking about Captain Robert Smalls, all right? Captain Robert Smalls, the greatest Civil War hero. And what's beautiful about this new franchise, this new enterprise, this new industry is that it is perfect for us. It doesn't end like Glory, with everybody being thrown into a mass grave. All right, everybody dies. Roots. You get your foot cut off. You get beat all the way through the movie. ain't got to deal with that either. With The Color Purple, you got the black guy being portrayed as the bad guy. He's the reason for everything. Abuse, slavery, all that. That's The Color Purple. But Robert Smalls is something way more special. This brother, he commandeered, not stole, but he commandeered a Confederate steamship, grabbed his friends and his family, and took them all the way to freedom. Okay? Then he and his buddies, they got paid. Now, it is awesome what he was able to do. He was able to get with the Fleet Admiral, DuPont, and then negotiate the sale of the ship, the money for the sale of the ship. He got a cut, but he also negotiated a cut for his friends and family. This guy was a real stand-up dude. We should all love and appreciate him, and love and appreciate his story. Just like the people of South Carolina, this brother helped free every last one of our ancestors, and he kept on fighting. So it's an amazing story. And he was also able to join the Union as a pilot and get paid starting $50 a month. Then that went up to $75 a month. Then it went up to $150 a month. And so he got himself and his friends paid who rolled with him and joined the Union. All right? So, and the other beautiful part is that Robert Smalls died of old age, along with his friends and family. So they weren't abused in this story all the way up until the day they died. They weren't, all the other bad parts of slavery. But here's the other cool part, is that Smalls, along with his friends, went on to free all the rest of the black people by fighting in the Civil War. Amazing story. Now, here's the thing. You're thinking, well, you made this book. How does this help me? Well, it's a franchise. It's an industry. I don't own this story. But I can tell you this. When you have a franchise, and I'll take you back, for those who were part of the Bulls era, the 6P, who were in Chicago and elsewhere, there was a moment in time in which you can make up all your own Bulls shirts, all your own Bulls hats, and sell those on 95th Street. Sell it on 55th Street. You dig? And people, brothers, sisters, they was making bank selling those t-shirts, selling those towels, selling those hats. And what ended up happening is that white supremacy couldn't stand the fact that black folk were sitting up here making all this money without their permission. So they put all the Bulls merchandise under starter and sent the police out to stop it all, you dig? So the police would go in there and they would confiscate merchandise. Is this under starter brand? Well, then this is illegal. We're taking all of it. That type of thing. Well, with Captain Smalls, you don't get to do that because it's over 200 years old what happened. So everybody can participate and make money. So you can make t-shirts, you can make mugs, you can make hats, you can make plates, you can make toys, you can make video games. You could just go all out, do what you want. So that industry, and let me tell you something, you don't want to wait until 4 years from now. You want to do this right now. You want to get this started. And what I need you to do for me in order to help build this industry, get it started, is I need you to buy 1,000 of these Captain Smalls books. And there's 2 different versions of these books, all right? There's Captain Smalls, the Greatest Civil War Hero, which is wonderful for the little kids. And then there's Captain Smalls, the Titan. Now the Titan is for teens to adults. It is the pure Captain Smalls story, all right? It's I would say, the blackest version of the Captain Smalls story. And it's a great story, what I put together here. Now, we talking about money on top of money. You gotta understand what's great about Captain Smalls. this is something that is an all year round money maker. You dig? I did this for me, I did this for you. It's an all year round money maker. And here, let me not forget to have you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me, as well as share. This is important. We want to get this algorithm nice and strong, and we want to keep this movement going. This is a money maker. Look, Captain Smalls, they got Captain Smalls Day, May 13th. All right, this is a South Carolina project right there, as well as you also have Black History Month. Black History Month happens every year. Despite whatever the heck they talking about, Black History Month happens every year. All right, the same thing with Captain Smalls Day, May 13th. And then you got Juneteenth, right after that, another money-making month. And then after that, you have 4th of July, all right? You like, 4th of July? He was a Union Navy soldier, all right? So that's always celebrated. And then after that, you have Halloween. And Halloween, that means you could dress your kids up as Union and Navy Captain Smalls and the rest of his crew. You could just enjoy making money. So that means you got cakes, you got costumes, you got toys. All of that happened in the same area, same period. Also stickers too. You know, basically whatever you want to do. So it's a straight money maker. Again, I need to sell 1,000 of these. And let me tell you like this here. I know what you're thinking, like, man, that's a lot for one person. You don't have to do it all by yourself. You, your friends, and even I've seen people have to do this. You know, contact your friends who got major paper and have them buy the book too. All right? In order to make an industry, there has to be funds behind it. And we're talking about $30. One book is $27.98. The other book is $33 and 98 cents. Both of them come with a signature. I want you to go to Etsy right now and make your purchase, because in order to build an industry like this, I have to be able to tell people how many books have been sold. I don't need to tell them that, well, I'm working on it. No. How many books has been sold? And I know you also thinking like, man, why don't you just tell us about this before, a year and a half ago? Look, I know my people. And y'all ain't gonna be listening to somebody who's talking about what they're gonna do. You will listen to somebody who has done it. And I did it, all right? Now, one of the great things about Captain Smalls, the greatest Civil War hero, is that it has back matter, what we call back matter. And this is information dating back to the Civil War to show you how I derived these costumes and outfits for every character up in it. Let me just pull this up for you, okay? It shows you the dresses and then the characters that I went ahead and developed, with the dresses, with the clothing. Let me also show you this, once again, dresses and shirts. This young man Weston, who is pulling up this white surrender flag. Yeah, this is pulled directly out of the archives, man. And I'm talking about the Library of Congress. So it's full of this back matter about Smalls and all the different, officers involved. This is one of the clearest books too. I love all the Smalls books that came out and graphic novels, but the thing about them is that they literally kind of smudged out the faces of the characters. I went ahead and made sure that every character has a face and a purpose in this book. Now, the thing is that one of the things that I ran across when researching all of this was that these people back in the day during the Civil War took these pictures because they did not want to be forgotten. That's why they took these pictures, these beautiful black people. That's why they took these pictures. They didn't want to be forgotten. So what I did was I used these black people, these beautiful black people, as actors in this production. So they're not going to be forgotten. And they're not going to be forgotten because of you. You're going to make sure that they're not forgotten. Okay? By making this new franchise possible. And let me give you another thing. See this shirt right here? You see that? Yeah. Montgomery Brawl. Also available on Etsy. Look, we have brand new events, all right? Brand new things to celebrate. It doesn't have to be just about the civil rights movement and everything else that we've come to get used to when it comes to Black History and Black History Month. These new events, we should grab hold and use them to make money, make profit for black people. We don't let it fall by the wayside. We put those shirts, we put those mugs out. We put those hats out. And we should spend that money within each other. You know, just like the Chinese New Year. They spend money during the Chinese New Year every year, and they make money, and they circulate that money within themselves. We need to do the same thing with our historic events, with our historic people like Captain Robert Smalls, like Hannah Smalls, like Samuels. Look, I can't tell you, and I'm gonna make some more videos. I can't tell you how many cool characters there are in this book. And not all of them are great people. Like I'm gonna go into this brother by the name of Burris, and he likes to be called Uncle Burris. He is the biggest sellout, period. In this book, he is a whole problem. Look, Smalls is told at the beginning of the book, do not tell Burris anything, because he is going to tell Massa, period. Smalls listens to this character called Candy, and that's the way we have to be. We have to be able to listen to and connect with each other and save each other and make money with each other. Look, not only does Smalls get that money and get paid and get his friends paid, don't let nobody tell you don't ask for what you want or what you need. You need to be able to negotiate when that time is right there in front of you. These brothers were able to buy houses with that money during and right after the Civil War. Buy houses. They were able to open up grocery stores. They were able to make things better for their people. They were part of secret societies so that they can help liberate other plantations. These are some smart people. And when you read this book, you're going to find out that Smalls did this and was able to negotiate all this, and he hadn't even learned how to read yet. But during the war, what he was able to do was go to Philadelphia and be taught how to read by the smartest and best black professors and teachers there. The brother was brilliant, and so were all these black people during this time period. Reading was so important, and they knew it. I mean, it was so important. Let me tell you. Black children, when it was found out that a little black girl could read, the family would have to pick up and run, because jealous white people were going to come and destroy their whole way of life. And that's me saying that nicely. You know they were going to be deleted, all right? And the same thing when some black boys bought a book from a traveling salesman, and the white people found out that these black boys had a book, the families had to pick up and run because they were going to get deleted. That's how important it was. And that is one big reason, because Robert Smalls, he wanted to learn, to love, to learn. And that's in his book. It was just so important so that he could elevate his family, elevate his friends, and elevate the rest of the black community. All right? We're no longer slaves, so we had to be that powerful people that we are today. But again, this brother was smart enough to figure it out and ask for what he wanted before he was able to read. And here's some rough parts. There's math in this book so you can understand how we are the way we are. Most everything that a slave did was illegal, okay? Making money was illegal without the permission of their master. Being married was illegal without permission. And to be honest with you, it was just straight illegal. But they were able to make deals, okay? So, look at it this way. Smalls was able to get paid by learning the docs and stuff like that. He was able to get paid $16 a month. His master took 15 of that 16. So that was $1 a month that he had. Now, in order for him to be married to Hannah, he struck a deal with her master to pay him $5 a month. So basically, at the end of the month, he was negative $4. And you're wondering, okay, so how was he able to do this? And at the same time, he was trying to buy all of their freedom, which was going to cost them $800. And you're like, how was he going to raise all that being negative $4? It tells you in the book how he was able to do it. All right? But I'll give it to you like this. He, being a boat pilot, was going island to island. So he would get fruits and vegetables, chickens, come on back to South Carolina, and then sell that and raise money. Hannah, his wife, was out there, and this is a smart thing, she was a laundress. So she was out there cleaning laundry for sailors and stuff like that. So they was just raising money. And just before commandeering the ship, I'm not going to spoil this for you. You're going to wonder, what did they do with the money? And it's in the book. This story is amazing. And the truth be told, white supremacy, they don't want you to have this story because it has a lot of answers to how we are the way we are and how we can win, how we can be victorious, even though they're trying to take everything away from us now. There's a military base that they don't want any books about slavery in it. All right? So that means they don't want this book there. Why would they not want this book there? It must be important. It must have some valuable information for you with inside of it. So I need you, again, to help me build this industry. Go to Etsy right now and make the purchase. I need to make 1,000 sales by the end of this month. I need to make 1,000 sales by the end of this month. All the information for you to buy the book is going to be right there in the description box. All right? Help me build this industry. I need you to help you. You need to help yourself build this industry. What we're about to do is amazing. I talked to a buddy of mine, cool brother, and I'm gonna talk a little bit more about him. But he had this feeling like, man, we should fall back. They trying to take so much away from us. And I'm like, no, this is not the time in which you fall back and hide. You're gonna lose money falling back and hiding. You're gonna lose everything falling back and hiding. There was a rougher time out there back in the 50s and 60s and the 70s. Did Motown fall back and hide? Or did they double and triple and quadruple up and make the best music out there? Make the best music out there. Alright? Did you see the Jackson 5? Like just get real quiet? How about the Temptations? Did they get real quiet? How about Martha and the Vandals? Did they get real quiet? How about Diana Ross and the Supremes? Did they get real quiet? How about Marvin Gaye? Did he get real quiet? No, they came hard. How about Smokey Robinson? Huh? Did he get real quiet? Come on, y'all gotta be strong right now. Be strong right with me. Let's kill the game. Let's make all this money. Let's double, triple, quadruple down so they can't just sit up there and have us hide. Did Little Richard get quiet? No. Come on, man. Let's get this. We can win this easy. We just gonna double and triple and quadruple our efforts and win. And win like the Montgomery Brawl. We gonna win. Now, let me show you also why they want to block this book and block all books about us attaining our freedom. And I hope that Dr. Carr is listening to this too. But the opening to the Captain Small story is amazing how it was written. By the way, I'm the author and illustrator of this book. My name is Deshaun Thomas. You ready? Here we go. Somewhere in the Milky Way galaxy, there's a blue planet called Earth. It's a terrible and horrible time. The planet is run by primitives. It is Earth year 1851. On the edge of a rocky landmass, there's a city named Beaufort, in what they call a state named South Carolina. Enslaved by savages, a mother named Lydia is doing her slave work with her son Robert Smalls. She gazes at him through the cotton, knowing a couple of days before she took him to see the realities of slavery. There, Robert saw the abuse of a black man who did nothing wrong in a time when everything a slave did was illegal. A man could be beaten or worse if a white felt the slave stepped out of place or the white was just jealous of the slave. It was dangerous to be different. Lydia knew she could only keep Robert protected for so long. But soon, the illusion of his safety would be something he would have to navigate on his own as a slave. This is where our story begins. Yeah, that's how special this book is. And that's why we're gonna win. All right, now, I bet you're wondering, why did it take you a year and a half to do this book? Well, let me tell you, it didn't take me a year and a half to do this book, all right? It took me a year and a half to do a 3-book trilogy, all right? Now, what's great about this book, the first one, this is part 1. Let me tell you, this book goes further than any other Captain Small's book out there, period, on Earth. And let me explain what I'm talking about. This first book ends with Captain Small's getting all the way to freedom. Then he has a meeting with DuPont and makes his negotiation, all in this book. The next books are about the battles. I take you through a couple of battles that Captain Smalls went through. And then it culminates in the most brilliant, exciting, fun ending for all of us. You're gonna love this ending, period. You're gonna love this book trilogy, period. And also at the end, it's going to be a thick compendium, a thick graphic novel of all 3 books together, so you can purchase the one book of all 3 books. Now, I'm going to show you something in terms of taking it further than anybody else on this planet. All right? Just so you can understand how this goes. Number 1, All right, they get to freedom, and they have that meeting with DuPont, and then I give you bonus pages from book 2. Now, and it starts out, "What are your orders, Captain?" And here you get the beginning of the first ship battles with Captain Smalls. All right, you're gonna find out the beginnings of how Captain Smalls gets control of the planter. These are some exciting pages. I'm telling you, you're gonna enjoy it, and you're gonna meet the Vesey brothers for the first time. These are Denmark Vesey's sons, and yes, they were on the planter while he was going through these ship battles here and there. But I made them right in part of this story. You're gonna love the history of this, and you're gonna love how much I put into it. This is a great trilogy. You have got to take this ride with me. You're gonna love every bit of it. I'm talking about, you're gonna start to understand that all these shows, I'm talking about Star Trek, Star Wars, they were derived from Captain Smalls. And I'm gonna show you exactly how this took place. That's why they've been trying to hide this story. But again, that's only part of it. There's so much in here. And you're just gonna be absolutely amazed how this goes down. Y'all are heroes. You have to have a love for your people, just like I do, in order to build this franchise. Again, I need to sell 1,000 books by the end of this month. And I'm gonna explain to you, like, look, it can be done and you can do it. There are 47 million of us. And even if only half of us go ahead and make a move to purchase, I'm talking about, that means that that's like 23 million and a half people to go ahead and grab a book that only costs 30 bucks. I'm not asking for $300. I'm not asking for $3,000. I'm talking about $30. That's the average price. $27.98, $33.98. And it's a signed copy. Who could ask for more? And you get the book. Now, check this out. Look, people have already started to make purchases. I'm talking about brothers and sisters. People I know, people I don't know. I got a Blue Sky account. I got a Twitter account. I'm over there on Reddit. I'm just grabbing as many people as possible to make this an industry. And people are saying some really cool stuff to me on these different platforms. One sister said, "I hope you sell 1,000,000 copies." Now that is a lot of love and support. I love it. And I appreciate her for that because, I need that encouragement. She understood and understands what is happening here. And I got another brother, he works in the school system. And I got another brother, he has a really great job in the suburbs working for a municipality. And I'm talking about, he is connected to the libraries, all right? And he's getting all the librarians to buy the book as well. And the brother who is part of the teaching, curriculum and all that, he's connected to the Chicago public schools, and he's talking to the heads to get this book into the school system. I'm loving the support, but I need your support. I'm telling you, y'all are heroes, man. And I need you. The one thing that I learned from making this Captain Smalls book, researching Captain Robert Smalls, was that he didn't do it alone. He had friends, he had family. And those friends rolled with him to freedom. And not only did they roll with him to freedom, they joined up with the military. I'm talking about the Army as well as the Navy to help free all black people. He didn't do it alone. A lot of these books have him just rolling by himself, like he just loaded the ship up with wood and he cooked all the food and he piloted the ship. And he raised the white flag. He did everything by himself. That's crazy. But I actually go through that in this book. There's a really great conversation between his first officer and his first officer's wife that you do not want to miss. It is incredible. But again, he didn't do it alone. And I can't do this alone. I need you. I need you guys, brothers and sisters, to make this a new industry. And we need this yesterday. We don't need this 4 years from now after Trump. We need this yesterday so that within whatever, 1 year, 1 month, 4 years, that we have a brand new foundation to draw money off of. That's why I need you. I can tell you right now, everybody out there who was able to do something special, whether Donald Glover, whether Jordan Peele, whether Anderson .Paak, they had people in their corner, and those people were integral and important to what they needed to get done. And I can tell you right now, those people ain't forgot him or them. Those people love those brothers who put that time in. The same thing when it comes to Michael B. Jordan, one of our favorites, right? He was able to create that Creed franchise, you know, right through Sylvester Stallone, and now it's him, it's Creed, it's him and Jonathan Majors. Chose him to fight against him, man. That is what I'm talking about. More brothers, more sisters making money, making cake. But we cannot sit up here and just languish on our, parents' franchises that they created. We got to create our own franchises and then double and triple and flip that money. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You brothers and sisters who part of the underground and everywhere else, whether if it's entrepreneurial business or any of that, y'all know what I'm talking about in terms of flipping money and flipping business until it just grows great. I mean, look at Tyler Perry. Y'all know his story? We all know his story. Yeah, some of y'all may not be fans, but we have to be fans of how he was able to get his stories off the ground. He had stage plays in some of the smallest venues. I went to one in Chicago, enjoyed the heck out of myself, and the whole audience enjoyed themselves. And he flipped it and flipped it. Didn't matter if he was homeless or living in his car or whatever. He flipped it and flipped it. Now look at him. Has a movie studio of his own. A movie studio that we can all shoot movies in or at. And I can tell you right now, when it comes to this story, Captain Robert Smalls, there's going to be all types of actors and actresses, or we could just say it's 2025, actors of all types who are going to want parts in this. And we talking about stage plays, we talking about movies, we talking about video games, everything. They're going to want a part. Somebody's going to want to play the part of Captain Smalls. Somebody's going to want to play the part of Hannah. Somebody's going to want to play the part of Samuel. Somebody's going to want to play the part of Uncle Burris. Somebody's going to want to play the part of DuPont. Somebody's going to want to play the part of Nickerson. Somebody's going to want to play the part of Candy. Somebody's going to want to play the part of, people going to want to play Eddie. They're going to want to play Abraham as well as Gabriel. So many characters and so many people who can make money, man. Man, I'm talking about set designers. I'm talking about miniature builders of the planter. I'm talking about 3D modelers, all that. I'm talking about animators. Man, it could be a 3D animated movie. It could be a 2D animated movie. It could be all that. It could be a live action movie. How many different ways that they flip The Lion King? All right? Animated, stage play, 3D animated live action, all that from one concept, and then came out with Mufasa, basically a prequel. That's a lot of money, y'all, and I bet you there'll be a Mufasa stage play as well. That's a lot of money, all from this perfect story. And when I say perfect, it ain't what you'll call non-rags to riches. There's still going to be oppression, but it's a perfect story in terms of how the outcome happens. It's perfect for us. We win, and we win together. So I need y'all to help us all win. We're gonna win this together, I'm telling you. Now, to all you first 1,000 people who buy a signed copy from Etsy, go to Etsy right now and buy this book. I'm talking about Captain Robert Smalls, the greatest Civil War hero, as well as Captain Robert Smalls, the Titan, over at Etsy. The first 1,000 people who support this new industry, I am putting all 1,000 of your names in both books because you're going to be officially part of the production of this new enterprise. And I'm talking about, this is a 3-book series, but I am going to put all 1,000 names, 1,000 of your names in the next book, the second installment. This is going to be beyond getting the book. This is going to be payment right back to you for your support. That's all I gotta say for now. We're gonna get in deeper. The next video, let me see here. Pop this sucker up. The next video, we're gonna talk about reading and bullying. All right? And how we ain't going nowhere fast if we sitting up here kicking the back of the chairs of our engineers, and what we're gonna lose because of it. Let's talk.